Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are doing another Health Talk Tuesday and we are talking about Epstein Barr Virus. So many people know about Epstein Barr Virus. Those of you that don't, it is also known as the kissing disease or mononucleosis. So a lot of us remember missing weeks or months of school in high school or college, or some of us may have never actually gotten that sick, but we do have the virus. We cannot get rid of it. So we can fight it, we can beat it when we're younger, but it remains dormant in our system. The virus is very opportunistic, so it looks for an opportunity to essentially reactivate and wreak havoc on the system. Some ways to know that your EBV has reactivated would be if you've recently had a trauma, a surgery, a illness, you're developing chronic illnesses, or for some reason you're just starting to have things pop up that aren't feeling right. It's a simple blood test. I recommend getting, there are about 4 of them that I think are worth it. IgM, IgG, you can see if you have an acute infection. I will list them below, but very simple to see if it is active. If it is, there are supplements you can take that help to decrease your viral load, such as lysine or loracidin. I personally always focus on mold and Lyme and my co-infections as the main culprit of why I was so sick. As someone with chronic illness, you learn by trial and error. So if any of you also are chronically ill, you kind of know, you become the expert, you become the doctor in a lot of sense. You may have a doctor, but you're the one that kind of knows what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and what you're going through. So I realized that, what I'm still struggling with is finding the energy to even move my body around on most days, feeling extremely fatigued, always having sore throats, swollen lymph nodes, swollen glands. My spleen has been swollen for about 2 years plus at this point. So there are signs that it's really been there. I just never focused on it. But I have realized through my own trial and error and my own research that, if I can decrease my viral load, I can then in turn focus on my immune system. With reactivated viruses, my immune system is constantly fighting when I'm sleeping, when I'm awake, at all times. So my full system is firing all cylinders against Lyme, co-infections, Epstein Barr, cytomegalovirus, mold toxicity, healing from breast implant illness, the other viral loads I may be carrying that I'm unaware of, healing from having parasites. And then of course with my gene mutations, I was not really set up for success in the chronic illness world. So that makes it even harder for me to detox, to combat everything. So really when you're healing from chronic illness, you want to focus on your immune system, getting that to its peak performance, healing your immune system, doing everything for your immune system. But for me, my viral load is too heavy, it's too much. So in conjunction with the loracidin and the lysine, which I highly recommend being on if you are someone chronically ill with multiple things going on, it's very likely that you also are carrying a viral load as well. So along with that, you want to have a very healthy greens, fruits heavy diet. You want to feed your body high energy foods, and you really want to focus on sleep and rest and listening to your body. For example, I love the gym. For me, it's my version of freedom. It's my version of, getting outside of my illness for the 30 minutes I'm there. But I have to be careful because I naturally push myself too hard and I exhaust myself in the gym. It's something I've had a major issue with, and then I'll flare for days following, or just not feel good and feel extremely fatigued. So you do want to move your body. That's going to help you get sunlight, get air, go on walks. I would say light weights if you're a weight lover like me, which is something I'm learning. But if you like yoga or Pilates, that's amazing. Swimming, anything where you're getting movement in, even if it's 15 minutes a day. And sunlight has been huge for me, like a really air, sunlight, just your basics, and the high energy foods, and also drinking as much clean water as possible. If you can, find it in your budget to get some kind of filter, even if it's a Brita filter, you're still filtering your water. So I would highly recommend looking at the water you're drinking, making sure it's filtered, and paying attention to the foods you're consuming, and brands that greenwash, that make it seem like they're a healthy brand, or, oh, we're organic, we're GMO free. But if you really look at what's going on there, it's not great. If you are someone that did have COVID, Epstein Barr can reactivate from having COVID. So since having COVID, if you're having a hard time healing or feeling like yourself again, or you feel like it changed, you and your health, definitely test for EBV. It may have reactivated, and maybe didn't, but it's worth looking into, because I know they are linking a lot of those long-standing COVID symptoms and people saying, hey, I feel off, I feel different. They are linking it to Epstein Barr virus. So another thing to keep in mind with these viral loads, again, like I said, it puts your immune system in overdrive. It puts so much pressure on your system. It can start to neurologically and, affect your nervous system, your movements, your motor skills. It can get that severe. With me, my mobility is severely impacted from what I've gone through now for over a decade. So keep in mind that even if it's, manageable for you now, it's not something to turn away from or not deal with, because the long-term impacts can be very great. Epstein Barr virus can also increase your chance of developing autoimmune disorders such as MS. They did a study and they linked EBV reactivating long-term, causing or increasing your risk for MS by about 30%. Also, it can increase the risk of certain cancers and other autoimmune disease. So again, when you're walking around day in, day out with that pressure on your system, it is not good. It can lead to other things, which is what I personally experienced in my life. When I was in my early 20s and I started not feeling well, I was like, oh, well, I can still live. I can still go out. I can still walk. I can still work. I may not be comfortable, but I can do it. And, I went through like that for years and years, and it will catch up to you. It's like a domino effect. So definitely take a look at your viral load. Very common when your immune system is crashing and your body is under attack for these guys to see an opportunity, reactivate. They also learn to trick your immune system. So your immune system gets confused and gets overwhelmed, and it doesn't know who is the bad guy, essentially. So these are very stealth pathogens. They're very good at disguising themselves. So your immune system may need a little help there. And again, the supplements I mentioned are very affordable. The lysine, I think, is like $4 or $5, and the lauricidin's like 25 to 30. As I mentioned before, Epstein Barr is one of the main causes, if not the leading cause in this country, for the development of autoimmune disorders. So I know people are talking about it. Everyone is getting sick, right? Everyone knows someone that has, a strange thing happening or a chronic illness developing. It's at an all-time high. So these are things to look at, not only your food, your water, your movement, your environment. Do you have mold? Are you living somewhere clean and safe? But to look beyond that, look into your past, look at viruses you may have had and they may be reactivating. So some other signs of chronic Epstein Barr virus, or when it's flaring or when it's reactivating, whether it's long-term or short-term, are going to be chronic headaches and migraines. So I've personally had 2 or 3 MRIs years apart. I have no lesions. They show nothing. Yet my mobility and my motor skills were severely impacted and still are. I have to use, a walker to get around because I am so impacted as far as my mobility. So the MRIs may be clear, but you may be experiencing migraines, nervous system symptoms, neurological symptoms. That's a common, sign that you may have EBV. Also, it can cause chronic anxiety. So the Epstein-Barr thrives and lives within the central nervous system. That's really where it's gonna wreak havoc the most. And that's going to affect your mental health as well. So it can make you very anxious. You also may be incredibly tired and exhausted feeling, maybe not every day, but you may at random be hit with it. And this is not your, hey, it's been a long week, I'm tired. This is extreme fatigue where, you are crashing, your body is breaking down, something is wrong. So that's another sign that you may have a retroactive or a old virus flaring. Let me know in the comments below if you have EBV, what you take for it, what helps you, and also if there's anything else topic-wise that you want me to talk about or cover. Nothing is off limits, so head over to my Instagram and you'll see I talk about coffee enemas and parasites, and there is nothing I won't share. So let me know below, and thank you again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys next time.